All right, cool. All right. Well, I'm super excited. This is so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that I'm excited. You cannot minimize when I'm recording. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So we're working on our 2023 New Year's goal setting for the end of 2022. Like, I think it's super cool to do this before going into the new year. Like, I was just talking with Bree that, like, you know, literally just the difference of like December 30th to like January 2nd. Even though it's just a weekend difference, you kind of go into the new year already feeling rushed, like, oh, I haven't set my resolutions yet. It's already been 2 days. Where like you feel like you're already like missing days, even though it's only, the difference of 2 to 3 days. So I really wanted to kind of go over these different areas. There's 6 different areas that we're going to focus on, but I gave you in the workout, or the worksheets that I gave you. There's a lot more areas that are covered. Pick the ones that make sense for you, that like the ones that you have to improve on the most. And then making a plan to go forward is going to be way easier actually writing it down versus just like, I really wanted to travel more. And then all of a sudden it's like December, you're like, oh, did not make a plan for that. Okay. So let's see. Can I share my screen? Oh, there we go. I'm like, there's a way I can do this. Okay, there we go. Share. Opening. Cool. Okay, so let's kind of just get started. So it's not about what it is that your goal is. It's not, losing weight, or I want to run a 10K, or I want to eat healthier. It's about doing the things, right? So it's not about the idea, it's about how to make the idea. So today what we're going to go over is just making a list of at least 20 goals. I know it sounds like a lot, that you want to accomplish in 2023, but it's super easy. Like I said, there's so many different categories, that it's going to be a little bit, you're probably going to have to like cap yourself at 20. I just wanted to put this in here because SMART goals, I feel like everyone talks about them, but maybe we don't really like go over it, because it's like, oh yeah, SMART goals. Just like people throw around the word macros all the time. Like, yes, your macros. You're like, yes, the macro of the food, the thing. So I just wanted to talk about your, like, the SMART goal, right? That this is how to set the goal, right? So it's supposed to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This is how like you're gonna go forward. We can talk about this a little bit more later. But I want to go way more in depth than just starting at, okay, we're going to set a SMART goal. It's going to be, I want to lose 20 pounds by April 16th for, my sister's wedding or something. That is a SMART goal, but like I said, we'll talk about that later because it's like so much on the surface. I want to dive a little bit more in depth with these things. So this is what I want to talk about today. So go ahead and grab your pen and paper, shabow, and just make kind of like what I have here: the fitness, finances, network, mindset, spirituality, and family as part of your paper. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have it here, but we're going to talk about that later. So these are the areas that I want you to focus your goals on. So like I said, we're going to do 20 different goals, right? Like, sounds like a lot, but if I'm just like, give me 20 of your goals for 2023, you literally have nothing, like nowhere to start. You probably have like an idea of where you want to go, but this is going to help guide you from where you were, where you are now, and how to go forward. So fitness is obviously how to take care of like your body and your mind. Your finances, increasing money, such as like, income coming in or savings. Network includes literally anyone that you talk to. So your friends, family, coworkers, things like that. Your mindset, this is usually tied in with mindfulness, emotional well-being as well. Spirituality, that covers both religion as well as like meditation, self-care type things. And then family is either your direct family or your children, however long you want to cover that family. Okay, so those are your 6 categories that we're going to focus on today. So like I said, you should have set up your paper like this. So we have fitness, finances, network, mindset, spirituality, and family, all in different boxes. So first, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to do this, just kind of jot down the different areas. I want you to think of what's happened in 2022, ever since January 1st, and kind of put down what your different goals were in, like literally a year ago, and just write them down, what either you accomplished or maybe like, 50% got done, anything that you did that was really cool, like traveling, or had a trainer that just graduated from college, which like took a very, very long time for him to kind of like go through all these like rigmarole of things, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna give you guys a few minutes to write this down. Just try to think back. I really like looking at my photo albums on my phone, just because it's all dated for one. So you can like go back to, okay, last year on, okay, 2021, okay, December 2021, January 2022. All right, I'm just gonna like not, document exactly everything, but I just want to quickly scroll of like, oh yeah, I forgot that this was this year, and then jot it down. Okay. So I'm gonna mute myself for a few minutes. We're gonna go over this for about, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes just so you can jot something in each one of these little areas, and then we'll move on. Okay. Yeah. All right. Go. We're gonna go for about 1 more minute and then we'll move on. All right. So this is something you can work on. There's probably a lot more things that you did in 2022 than, 2 minutes is able to write down. But like I said, I was kind of doing the same thing with you guys. I wrote down my different boxes. So what this is meant for is kind of looking what your 2022 year was. I'm gonna write down 2022 so I don't get confused. And seeing if there's any areas that you may have been lacking. So in let's say in my example, right, I was able to, off the top of my head, write down my fitness goals and finance goals, and yeah, I started to meditate once a week, and I did some stuff for my family, and spirituality is empty. Okay. Networking is empty. Okay. I'm not judging myself. Don't judge yourself. You are just writing down like what you're able to accomplish, and maybe you were way more successful and heavy on the fitness side, not so much on the finances, or you were very focused on your family, not so much spirituality. So this is just your overview of 2022. So moving forward, I want you to circle what your personal like most important areas are. Is your most important area family? Is it mindset? I've circled mine. Mine's both family and mindset, right? Because I feel like those directly feed into all of the other areas of these goal setting. So take a second, which ones make the most sense, that no matter what, you have to have this in your life every single day, no matter what. This is your most important goal area, and you don't want this to be empty, ideally. So if you know, going back to my example, if one of my most important things was networking and it was empty, it's like, oh, okay. If it's so important to me, why is it empty? And then how can we set a goal for that to not be empty in the next year? So moving forward into the future, into 2023, what I want you to do is we're going to write down 3 things that you want to do for each category in 2023. This is just like your dream sheet, right? So even if it's you know, let's say finances, like I want to buy a house, like, okay, I'm going to buy a house. Don't let that like little voice in the back of your head start being like, well, it's probably going to take longer to buy a house. We haven't saved any money yet. We haven't even looked on the market's terrible. Like, don't listen to that voice right now, right? So just write down the things that you like very, very focused on. Ideally start with like your most important areas. So like family and mindset, that's where I would start. And we're just going to take a few minutes. Let's say like take 3 minutes to write down 3 minutes for 3 things of each category. For 2023. Yeah, 333. Okay. So just stop talking for a second. Find each thing. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, let's get started on this. All right, that was 3 minutes. I know, it's like super short and sweet. Like I said, definitely do this after we're done here. So I kind of use the same paper. It was very easy to think of the things that I already have very heavy influence in, right? So, you know, being a personal trainer and a fighter, really easy to fill in that fitness goal. Really easy to fit in my mindset goal of like, oh, I only meditated once a week. I want to meditate daily next year, right? But once I got to the places that I was lacking, kind of a little bit harder. So that's okay. A little bit more thinking for me, it was the networking, the spirituality, and family. Like, huh, what can I do in the next year for those? So don't like just I'll do it later, right? These are the most important ones, right? So definitely like kind of let this like ruminate, like, huh, okay, so what can I do? What can I do for my family in 2023? Okay, like is doing something for your family, is that taking them to places, is that spending more quality time with them, is that like decreased screen time, whatever it is for you, go for that. But just make sure you're coming back to this. Like, it doesn't have to all be filled in right now. So I kind of alluded to it a little bit of what your most important ones are. I said that my family and mindset were connected, right? But if you look at this, like pretty much every single one of them is connected. And this is the best way to not only get yourself into a good habit, but also to not get into that habit of the work-life balance, right? That work-life balance is like it's terrible. Like there's no one who's like, yes, I have perfect work-life balance. The what do you call it? The idea of this like this balancing act of like, oh, well, if my work's good, then my family's terrible. And if my family's great, then my work's good. This like balance thing is not exactly like useful. And also it puts really like a lot of stress on, okay, well, I can't work too hard on my job because then my family's going to suffer. And I can't spend too much time with my family because my work's going to suffer. So get rid of that entire thing. I'm actually going to show you a book that I'm kind of open my eyes to these. It's called Align Your Empire. It talks about these 6 areas of alignment, and it's all about aligning each one of your goals to each other. So I'm just going to go back to fitness because that's what I know, right? So let's say my goal for 2022 is to lose weight, right? Let's say like 10 pounds, right? That seems like a normal like resolution, right? So usually it's not the workout itself that is hard for people. It is finding time in their already busy day to give themselves an hour or 45 minutes to go to the gym or do a workout at home. So instead of trying to fit in an extra thing, try to just align it with something that you already do. This is called habit stacking. So let's say I go home or I go to work, I work my 8 hours, I come home, and this is usually when I spend time with my family. Okay, so why don't you have family time your workout time? I have my kids come in and they'll work out with me whilst I'm doing my workouts. Usually they'll like hit the heavy bag or they'll dangerously, terrifyingly swing kettlebells, which they actually are really good at, which is awesome. But yeah, it's like all of a sudden this me time of like, okay, I have to do this fitness thing and I'm spending time away from my family, which really kind of like weighs heavy on my heart. Instead of doing that, I'm aligning 2 of my goals so that I can, like I said, habit stack a healthy habit into something that already means something to me. You can do this with literally any of these. So let's say like finances, like, okay, I really want to save 200 bucks, 200 bucks a month or something, right? So being able to be more financially stable, let's say like you save that $200, right? Like your mindset's going to change. Like, oh, wow, I can actually save that. Okay. Your mindset's a little bit better. You're better to your family. You're a better mom. You're a better dad to your family, right? You're a better son or daughter to your parents, right? Oh, because you're a better person, people are now recommending you out as a personal trainer. Oh, that improves your network. Well, so talking to people about, oh man, like, oh man, she's like very good personal trainer. You should go talk to her because like I'm a friend of her mom and yada yada yada. You see how all of these kind of like interconnect to each other, right? So the best way to get especially a new habit worked into your current lifestyle is to try to connect everything in what's called habit stack. So this is another activity that I want you guys to do. So new piece of paper, shabao. I want you to write down everything you do in a day. You don't have to be super specific, right? But let's just say, okay, I wake up at 6 a.m. What do I do? Oh, okay, I wake up, I brush my teeth, right? I go make coffee, I sit down, I work from this time to this time, right? And then, okay, from this time to this time, I go get Aurora to school. After I go bring Aurora to school, I go to my sessions, blah, 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 blah. So write down as many things as you can think of that you do on a normal day, like eating lunch, checking email, going home and watching Netflix or whatever it is that you do. So once you have this list of what you do throughout the day, this is where you're going to start your habit stacking. So let's say no matter what, like I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I go and I make coffee, right? Okay. So what can I do with this habit that I already know I'm going to do? My body doesn't even have to think about it. I just wake up. I just know I have to go make coffee. All right, I'm going to go make coffee. While I'm going to make coffee, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go take a walk. I'm going to grab my coffee. I'm just going to go take a walk because this is going to help improve my steps, which increases my metabolism, which helps me get on my goal of losing weight, right? Tiny little thing. All it is just adding one more, what do you call it? One more habit onto a thing that you're already going to do. And then all of a sudden that is now ingrained into your habits. So like I said, we're not going to spend too much time on that. But that is like super, super important on instilling new habits. I'm going to put it out that, you know, we can do a follow-up, I would say 2 weeks from now. Like probably like 30 minutes, one-on-one, not so much like the group thing. And this would be a huge part of that follow-up. Okay. Moving on. Is everyone good? Everyone having fun? We're talking too much. I don't know. No, Amanda, you're amazing. Oh my God, you're so great. All right, drinking the rest of my water and Pedialyte. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just put it in some water, and I'm like, it's healthy, right? It's good for you. Anyways, so this is kind of like what I was talking about with the interconnection of the different areas: family, fitness, finances, mindset, network, and spirituality. The goal is I want to be more active, or I want to work out more. And this is how you tie it into every single one of these areas. So you want to work out more financially, you would be healthier, and therefore you don't have to like pay for any medications as you get older, such as like having diabetes or a heart issue. Working out, obviously that goes into the fitness realm. Working out, let's say like 3 to 4 times a week, which is recommended. Mindset, it builds your confidence. Being more confident makes you more like comfortable in your own skin, and therefore people want to be around you, which improves your networking. Improving your networking, your family, you feel like you're a way more calm, cool, and collected parent, friend, you know, husband, wife, whatever. And then spirituality wise, you end up practicing gratefulness and like understanding cause and effect, not that things are happening to you. You feel way more in control of your own life. And this helps keep with like self-accountability, your own accountability. But you can do that with like literally every single one of your goals. Okay, are there any questions yet? Cool. All right. We're gonna move on to the coolest part of this. Man, I'm doing great on time. It's only been 30 minutes. Man, I'm like speed talking. So I sent this to you in your email. I'm just gonna pull it up on here though. So this is your what do you call it? The New Year's workshop goal planner. Okay. So I have each one of these. This is where you're going to write down your goals, which we're going to talk about in a second. So we have it broken down into the 6 different areas, right? And then by the end of 2022, 2023. Oh man, end of 2023. Man, I said the wrong one. End of 2023, you're going to have whatever you want at the end of that. So financially, I want to save, $10,000. Okay. End of 2023, I'm going to have $10,000, right? So I'm not expecting to have $10,000 saved in the bank in January, right? We're going to backwards, reverse engineer it. That's what it's called. So going all the way over to December. All right. By December, I need $10,000. Oops. $10,000, right? Yeah, it's enough zeros. Okay, so that means in June, I should have about 5,000, right? And then you keep cutting that number in half. We're talking like financials and stuff. So let's see, like by March, I should have like 2,500, cut in half, cut in half, cut in half. Math is not my strong suit, so that's as much as you get from me. But you see how it goes. It's like, instead of having this huge giant number of, oh man, $10,000, that's a lot of money to save. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm probably not even going to do it. Doesn't matter, right? You're kind of like self-sabotaging yourself before you even get started, right? But breaking it down, it's like, okay, I need $2,500 in 3 months. Fine, I'll do the math. I'll do it. 2,500 divided by 3. Okay, $833 a month, which for some people, that's like, oh, some change, right? Other people are like, there's no way I can do that. Okay, so there's 2 different ways you can do that. You can either stop spending so much money, or you can start getting more money, right? And then just kind of depending on like how your finances are, is that a doable thing? If it's not doable, we need to change this number. Okay. So instead of 10,000, okay, you know what? I can afford $200 a month. All right. Let's just say $200 a month. I want to save, which is $2,400 a year. Okay. So not as big as $10,000, but let's say if nothing else changes, I'm not expecting a raise, I'm not expecting a huge inheritance. I'm not looking to downsize my lifestyle at all. This is what I can afford, and this is my goal. Okay, do you guys see how I did that? Yeah, cool. There's a little tab over here about our mindsets. These are just your different habits that you have, your fears, your personal improvement, and your beliefs. You can use this format if you like, but I have a way better format, which I sent to you in your emails. And where is it? Did I delete? Oh, no, I didn't delete it, but it's just not opened. Areas of focus. There they are. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our, what do you call it? Our goals, okay? So new piece of paper, flip, 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 new piece of paper. Now we need those goals, okay? So again, go back to your, fitness, finance, mindset, networking, spirituality, and family. Okay, write all those down again. But this time we're talking about going forward into 2023. If I please move this window away from the shared application. Oh, you can't see this, but I want to share this. Can I share this? Your screen sharing is paused. Resume. Oh, I get it. Hold on. I'm new to technology, apparently. Let's see. Can I a new share? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm apparently new. Okay. Got it. Done. I was wondering why it was orange. It was like there was like an orange box around it. I'm like, I don't know what this means. Okay. I got it. So area of focus. These don't have to all be answered unless you're like, super overachiever, like you want a gold star. I will give you a gold star if you answer all of these. But these are just designed to like kind of prompt your thinking. There's so many times where you're like, yeah, I have goals. And you're like, okay, cool. What are they? You're like, just the normal goals that people have, obviously. So this is just designed to like kind of help jog your creative juices, get them flowing, so to speak. So I'm just gonna go over these. You can ignore me and start working on your goals, or you can listen to me and hear the sultry sound of my voice talk about each one of these questions. But I just want to go over them quickly, just because I think that they're super important. So first thing we're going to talk about is the biggest one, right? Biggest priority. What urgent and important priorities do I need to accomplish that cannot be postponed? That can be whatever it is for you. There's something super important that cannot be put off, like New Year's Eve goal setting. This cannot be put off till February, because then it would be February goal setting. Okay. Values. What are my top values, and how can I better align my life to what I value the most? This goes back to figuring out which area is your most important, and making sure that you actually have goals for your most important areas. Goals, what top 3 goals do I want to achieve within the near future to feel a sense of accomplishment? overcoming challenges. Where are my current challenges and what steps can I take to overcome them? Habit improvements. What new and exciting habits do I need to focus on to improve the overall quality of my life? I know those are like not an easy, like, 5-second write off, right? Like these you need to kind of like sit in a room quiet with like some, I don't know, like yoga music playing and like just calm, figure out who are you? What do I need? What are my goals? What are my values? These are big questions, right? You can always skip these and come back to them at the end. There's an area for innovation, so like new ideas, quantum thinking, which is really, really cool. So like this is the whole idea of like, what would someone else do if they were in my situation, right? So like, what would I want to save, 200 bucks a month or something, right? Like, what would Bill Gates do if he was in my situation, right? Like, person that's very famously good with money, right? Okay, what would he do? So you like have to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that is good at the thing that you're trying to be good at, and then try to think like them. Also, the internet is really good for that. So somebody's probably already asked that question. Also, creative problem solving. What areas in my life do I need a positive boost? I already showed that, like my spirituality and what was the other one? Networking were kind of like at like lacking. So how can I creatively get a positive boost in those areas? Do I do more outings? Do I like go to more networking events? Do I just try to like make more friends at different areas? Do I get a new hobby? This is all things that you can write down in your goals. Health, body, as well as health, mind. They're broken down into different things just because they're so important. I don't want you just kind of like health, be healthier. All right, next. So think of like your energy, what you focus on. It's crazy. I was working on this like all night, trying to think of like what the best way to produce or like give this to you, right? Like Microsoft Word, not as like showy as a PowerPoint, but for me, I feel like um it's way more easy for me to get like my thoughts across. And since you guys now have it as a PDF or a Word document, you guys can just like type right into the documents. But yeah, just like taking a 10-minute break. I like went and like took my kids for a walk with their new bikes and took the dog for a walk. And I came back and I was just like, I was able to knock out a whole bunch of work in like 30 minutes. And if I didn't take that focus break, like I'd still be here like, oh God, oh, I can't focus. I should be able to focus. And then it takes like 3 hours to type out THE. You're like, where did the time go? How did this happen? If you ever feel unfocused, take a break, go change your scenario, go for a walk, come back, and like it's life changing. It's crazy. I hate how much I hate how much it works. Let's see. Exercise, that's pretty self-explanatory. Health improvements. So what can you do or what can you stop doing to help improve your health? Jim Rohn, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's pretty cool. He's like a very famous motivational speaker back before Tony Robbins and the other guy, I forget his name, the army guy or the SEAL, David Goggins. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Jim Rohn was around way before both of those guys, and he had a really cool explanation. Like for me, I remember like I used to like smoke and drink and all that fun stuff, and then I remember like I found martial arts. Like I just walked into a gym that happened to have martial arts, right? And absolutely fell in love with it. Like didn't even think about smoking or drinking. And I was just so like mesmerized and like infatuated with Muay Thai and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and like all of that stuff that like I couldn't even like think about the other stuff. So think about like Jim Rohn said that it's very, very hard to like say, I don't want to smoke anymore. I'm gonna quit smoking. Not anymore. And then you just don't replace it with anything. So like you're just sitting here like, okay, I'm just not gonna smoke. All right, not smoking, good. Like there's nothing for your mind or your body to like get distracted by, right? So you're pretty much like swapping out distractions for a healthier distraction, right? Like exercise is way better than like drinking and smoking. But think of it like in a positive way. So instead of like, I don't want to smoke anymore, think of what is a positive habit that you do want to start. Like, you know, I really want to start salsa dancing. I've never salsa danced. It looks cool. Like I want to do that, or whatever it is that like I think of, like I want to find a hobby that makes me so obsessed over that I don't even think about my bad habits. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Where are we? Health environment, health improvement. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Food and nutrition, straightforward. I always think about that with like, I want to drink more water, by carrying around like my gallon jug, and I'll like fill up a cup, drink water. That's easier. And then, you know, eating more organic, locally grown stuff, just to kind of, you know, put less bad stuff into my body. Mind and soul. How can you be happier? I know it's a word that kind of gets thrown around a lot, just like fitness. But how can you be happier? I think of it as like, how can you be more content with life? You don't want to be super happy, because if you're super, super happy, you're going to have a super low, right? That's at least the way that I think of it, is like, once you're super happy, once the super happiness stops, oh man, I'm so sad that I'm not happy anymore, right? It's like going to a Six Flags, right? You're like, yeah, we're at Six Flags. This is amazing. And then you go home from Six Flags, like, man, kind of wish we were at Six Flags right now, you know? The amusement park. I think they have a Six Flags out here, right? That's like a thing, right? Maybe, I don't know. Like roller coasters and stuff. But anyways, so think of like, what does being happy mean to you? And then how can you bridge that gap of where you are now and being happy? And again, this doesn't have to be like time bound to a year, right? Okay, I want to, you know what really make me happy is becoming a black belt in Muay Thai. It's like, okay, well, that's going to take a while, like can take longer than a year, but you can still write down in your Excel spreadsheet of where you can get to in the next 12 months. Adding a sense of meaning and purpose to your life, emotional balance, senses of accomplishment, as well as spiritual growth are also good things to focus on for improving your health, mind, and soul. Growth. This one, I think, is the hardest one to like write down. It's one of those things like, yeah, of course I want to grow. Like, I want to be smarter, and like I want to be faster, and I want to do all these things. There's like those small steps in between. I think those ones are like the hardest ones to break down, because it's what do you call it? Like an abstract thought, right? Like I just want to be smarter. It's like, okay, well, what is your unit of measurement for being smarter, right? Like, are you going to take an SAT at the end of the year? Is that the thing that you're trying to get smarter at, right? So using these to like gear where you're trying to go to, like if you have the end game of like, I want to get smarter, I want to learn all of the words, you're like, cool, all right, like let's reverse engineer back how to do this. If you need help with that, let me know, I can help you. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Career and business. How can you improve your career and business opportunities? Anything that you can immediately change or improve in yourself, and anywhere that's has potentially an opening, that like a open weakness that you're just like, this is definitely needs to be fixed. Just don't know how to do it yet, right? Just write it down, and you don't have to know the answers. Just write it down, move on. Oh, and then also overcoming threats. So tangible threats that you're aware of that are the essential steps to define, analyze, and mitigate. And then the last area is just finances. So I talked about this a tiny little bit of like, you know, I want to save $10,000. It's like, okay, does that make sense for your current income? Like, well, no. Okay, well, are you planning new income? Yes or no? If you are planning new income, like where is that $10,000 going to come from, right? Are you planning on just like reducing your current costs to the point that you can save $10,000? If you're doing that, cool. You just gotta like be aware that like, okay, I'm living in this level of comfort. And in order to save my $10,000, which is really, really important to me, I have to lower my level of comfort. And that's like kind of like the reality of it is like people get super set on a certain level of comfort and they don't want to go below that, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to improve your lifestyle and improve the things that you have and like get more savings, get more money, whatever, if this is a hard line that you don't want to go below, like, you know, you don't want to live in a cardboard box, but at least you have $1 million in savings. That doesn't make any sense, right? So you have a level of comfort and you want to increase that, right? So getting multiple streams of revenue, you know, getting promoted at your job, starting your own business, whatever it is that you do. Just remember that like it's not, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, I have to sell my stuff to get more money, or, you know, I have to, you know, eat only in like the bargain bins. Like you can do that, but there's like unnecessary suffering in that. And the whole idea of this is to be happier, right? Like eating out of bargain bins and living in a cardboard box, it's not necessarily going to make you happier to have $10,000 in the bank if that's your lifestyle. All right. I know that was a lot. We're almost done. Like I said, this is in your emails. So after we're done, I want you to print this out. Just like when I'm done talking, right? Just like close your laptop, go for a walk, like grab something to eat, do something other than goal setting for right now. And all I want you to do is just kind of like, it's like giving your brain a shower. Like, okay, whew, that was a lot. Decompress. We'll talk about it later. You do have to talk about it later though. Like whether it's an hour or whether it's tomorrow, you have to come back to this and answer the majority of these, right? Like I said, not every single one will apply to you, but if you can get at least 3 per section of fitness, finances, network, mindset, spirituality, and family, you're really going to be like years ahead years ahead of other people that aren't doing this for their goal setting. Okay, let's see. Can I minimize this? Are you? Oh wait, okay. It's gonna have me resume sharing each time. That's weird. Oh, okay. New share. Bam, back to here. Again, technology. Okay. There's a little bit more of your like prompter questions of like what we've already done this. So step 1, reflecting on your previous year, learning where to improve, where are you currently, making realistic plans for your future. And then this is where we are right now. So revisiting your tracking once a week is going to be super beneficial for, you know, staying on track. How many times do you write down, I want to do everything? And then like, this is my 2020 planner. It's just like, and so I was like, I want to do all the things. And like, I was just like looking back and it was like, oh, I forgot I set that goal. Oh man, I've had that goal since 2020. Like you start looking at it, you're like, oh man, I took the time. I took the time out to write everything down, but I did not follow through. So plan to revisit this at least once a week. I've put it into my digital calendar. Like I joke with my clients all the time that like if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. But seriously, it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. So I have like a memory reminder every Monday. Memory reminder Monday. Every Monday I'll have a time that I check my goals, right? So every Monday, go to that spreadsheet, which I will have to pull up this way because it won't let me just switch between things. There we go. Cool. So I'll pull up my thing. You know, I'll have all of my my goals in here, right? Like, okay, it's January 31st. Did I get to $200 in my savings? Oh, you know, actually I got 2,500. Okay. Or, oh man, that's a lot. I got 250, right? So it's like, okay, cool. I'm actually ahead of the game. Cool. Good to know. All right. Now, same thing for February, same thing for March, same thing for April, right? So this is going to help track it monthly, but I want you to check this weekly and update it. Okay. So let's say first week of January, you save 0. You're like, oh, it didn't get paid. Doesn't make sense. Okay, next week of January, it was payday. All right, I saved, let's say I saved 130 bucks. All right, cool. So every time I'm going in here and I'm updating this number, okay? If you want, you can like do it by the weeks, but I feel like at that point, like my brain gets kind of confused the more numbers that are on the screen. I just want to know, like, okay, goal, where I am. Cool. Goal. Okay, I am there. That is not where I am. Okay, cool. Those numbers don't match yet. Okay, just keep pushing forward. Go back to my other screen. Ba-bam. Found it. Oh, I guess I could just share my screen versus sharing an app. It's okay. We're already here. Okay. And then make sure that you're doing like a hard reassessment every 3 months. So let's say we'll go back to that financial goal of was it the 2,500? And oh man, the first 3 months you were only able to save, I don't know, like let's say 700 bucks in total. You're like, oh man, okay, let's go back and reassess. Is that $2,500 still achievable? Yes or no? If yes, cool. Can we increase it? If no, just rewrite it. Like you're, no matter what, you still have that 700 bucks that you saved that you wouldn't have saved without tracking it, right? So like, just because you didn't get to your goal, doesn't mean that you failed. It's, was it, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you will land among the stars, right? Just because you don't get to the spot that you're trying to get to, you still reached for it and got, you know, like 70% of the way there. So maybe instead of 2,500 bucks at the end of the year, you have $2,000. Oh no, I've only saved $2,000 for my vacation, right? It's like it's still enough. It's still a good amount of time. It's still progress. And this is probably one of my favorite quotes ever. If you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. 100% accuracy. Does anyone have any questions before I kind of move on? I know it kind of like went fast. But this is, like I said, this is like day one of, you know, a thing that you guys are gonna have to do for on your own. Any questions? Cool. So, because I am, you know, from Untamed fitness company, and usually New Year's is a big fitness related thing. We are going to be doing a 6-week boot camp, starting the first week of January. So the second thing, right? We're going to do one group exercise workout per week, which is going to be for free. And all you got to do is just have at least one training session with either me, Kyler, Amelia, or Zach, which are all of our trainers at Untamed Fitness. This can be virtual or in person, but no matter what, you're going to still get those 6 weeks of free group classes. You're going to get all your biometric data, your progress photos. We also now do video, like biometrics, if you will. So like, I always say it's really, really cool watching somebody go from like not being able to squat, and then all of a sudden they're squatting perfect form or like near perfect form with weight. And like, I can see this happening. I know what I'm looking at. I'm like, oh man, look at your squats, look at your lunge, look at your push-ups. And they're just like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, whoa. So we now started documenting video comparison of new clients. So like your push-ups from the day 1, and then your push-ups from, you know, week 6, right? You have a side-by-side comparison, so you can actually physically see how you're changing through your 6 weeks. It's super, super cool, and it's very helpful. Also, you're going to be getting a 30-minute session with either me or Kyler, which are our MMA fighters. You get a macro-oriented meal plan, so you get 6 meals for 3 days. Just different recipes and stuff, which they're actually like pretty good. You get self myofascial release videos, which is like lacrosse balling, foam rolling, stretching, all of that stuff that like no one ever tells you about, but tells you is really, really important, right? And then also your monthly reassessment on your New Year's goals for free. And yeah, that's all for $497, which is like more than 50% off. So yeah, if you want that, let me know. only time to sign up for it is going to be for like only people that are going to have it is you guys that are here in this class. So you know, if you're actively watching right now, or you know, the recorded part is literally only for you, and then everyone else just has to pay for everything. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. I think I can stop sharing. I think it'll still show you my face. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys had a good time. Oh man, we did that in an hour. Whew. It's like Speedy Gonzalez over here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Did you learn anything?
Yes. Well, yes. I like the little areas of the little worksheets.
Yay, good. Oh man, it's like I feel like I'm always like a visual learner, so like I like seeing things, like hearing it, I'm just like, yeah, cool, that sounds good, but like literally in one ear out the other. But like physically having a thing that I can like hold is really how it like drives it home for me. Um
I'll probably put in like a little goal tracker so that it in the Excel spreadsheet
yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
so that it'll visualize progress.
I was thinking, I was like, I do like little red bars, like, but I was like, I don't know how many goals they're gonna have. I'm like, I'll just do that later.
Like pie charts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to be more technologically savvy. Um, cool. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna hit the end record button.